Hi, my name's Mike Wolf. I'm a research fellow at the Berkeley Center for Law and Technology. I'm here today with Professor Chris Sprigman from NYU, and we're going to talk a little bit about what he did with his recent book, The Knockoff Economy. And what's really interesting, and is sort of a small miracle, is that Professor Sprigman managed to sell it at a reasonable price point that's accessible to most consumers. I think the ebook right now is $9.99.
It is.
And the hardcover is going for under $20.
That's right.
So if you could introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about the book.
So I'm Chris Sprigman. I'm a professor at NYU. I co-authored a book with Cal Rostiallo. The book's called The Knockoff Economy. So the key for us was we write to be read, and we wanted our ideas to get out in the public as much as possible and have whatever effect they might be able to have on policy. It was important to us that the book be cheap enough that it be accessible. So a lot of academic books, they come out and they're $70, they're $80, and who can buy them? Not too many people, university libraries and the like. It restricts the flow of ideas. So Cal and I got together with a literary agent, a guy named Chris Calhoun, who we loved, who we thought was great. And Chris's first question to us was, well, what do you want out of this? And our answer was, we want to be read. We want these ideas to get out. And so it's important that the price be reasonable. So we worked with Chris to come up with some strategies that would help us along. So the first thing that Chris told us is, don't write a gigantic book, right? Write a 300-page or so accessibly sized book. This will drive the cost down. The second thing he told us is, work really hard on your proposal so that you attract interest, not simply in an academic book, which has a particular envisioned print run and price, right? But in what he referred to as a crossover book that would be printed in a large enough run and they would forecast enough sales where they could push the price down.
In creating an accessible work like that, did you feel like you were compromising at all from your academic goal, or did it fit in well with that?
No, I think it fit in very well. So it just happens to be that what we were writing about is stuff that we thought would appeal to people. So we were writing about competition and copying in the fashion industry, in the world of food, in the world of financial innovations and open source software, and lots of things that people would find interesting just generally. So we thought that this research had some public appeal, and we found, frankly, that we didn't have to dumb it down or debauch it at all in order for people, just interested lay people to get something out of it. What was challenging for us was we had to write it very carefully. We had to write it very clearly. And that took some time, but it also taught me a lot about writing for the reader, which I think was a great investment as well.
So in the process, it was intermediated by an agent,
right?
And do you feel like that was something that most agents would be willing to go to bat for? Was there much pushback from the publisher in the process, or was it relatively straightforward?
No, I think it was relatively straightforward. And so, I will summarize it this way. Maybe we didn't get quite the advance that we would have gotten, although it was fine. And maybe we didn't get quite the back end that we otherwise would have gotten if we were just simply interested in maximizing our take. But again, we weren't interested in that. What we were more interested in was getting the book out there into the hands of the public, and we were willing to give a little bit to ensure that that got done. So also, I will say that we were very excited about this book, and we communicated that enthusiasm both to our publisher and to our respective institutions, and this helped us generate a little bit of funding to have a publicist hired, right? An actual publicist at the publisher, but also a separate publicist who we hired, who helped us expand the publicity for the book and also help drive sales. So all of those things together, I think, were a lot of work by us. We were willing, for example, to do the blogging that was required to, generate a steady stream of content for the book once it came out, right? Steady stream of promotional content. We did a lot of interviews. We wrote a lot of op-eds. We were willing to kind of set a few other things aside for that time to give the book the life that we thought it should have.
So 2 final questions. So far, the book's been out for a little while. Do you feel like you've met that goal? You've spoken repeatedly of wanting to reach an audience and wanting to engage. Have the sales numbers reflected well? Has it been a good experience?
The book's done well, and I think it will continue to have a life. I don't think it's the kind of book that's going to stop selling. So the paperback's coming out soon, and we're excited about that. The book's been translated into Korean and Chinese and Japanese. So it's actually, we have that nice side as well. There's some revenue that comes from that, but more importantly, again, in Korea, which is a country that is consumed with the Apple-Samsung battle, right? They think the book has some relevance to their public debate, which is, you know, unexpected and a wonderful surprise for us. So we're very happy with the way things are going, and we hope it continues.
And the final question is, in writing a crossover book and one that's designed to reach a great audience, was that process supported by the universities, by the sort of the tenure system? Did you feel like it was something that was furthering your goals as an academic?
So I was at the University of Virginia Law School at the time, and I feel that my colleagues and my institution gave me all the support that I needed. They were very encouraging. They thought as well that the research had clear policy applications and would be interesting to the general public, and you know, they had enough faith in me, and I thanked them for it, that I would write it in a way that was both accessible to the public but also true to the underlying research that animated the book.
Well, thanks so much for taking the time to speak with me today, and I appreciate it.
All right.